Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 473 of the True Crime All the Time podcast. I'm Mike Ferguson, and with me, as always, is my partner in true crime, Mike Gibson. Gibby, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
We're in the new studio.
We are. Yeah.
So we got a lot of firsts here.
Yes, we do.
This is our first episode in the new studio. It's also our first video episode that's going to be up on YouTube.
Right.
And it's our second episode of TCAT a week.
Yeah.
So a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
And, trying something different. I'm not doing the music that I normally do on TCAT. There's no shout outs. There's no voicemails. There's no nothing. It's just the story.
This is just the story for the extra episode that comes out. Yeah.
And I could play around with it. We could change it if we don't like it. But, we're talking about this woman named Libby Adame. And Libby was known as Latia, or the butt lady. And she and her daughter, they built this social media following, offering silicone butt injections at a low price.
How low?
I don't know.
I had to pay a lot for mine.
I know. Well, we'll get into it because I know this is something that you've dabbled in. They used to call you No Buns Bobby, and they don't anymore. So there is a reason for that.
Well, exactly. But you know what? It's helped my weekend shows.
I guarantee it has.
Plus, now my pants don't fall down during the day. They
because you literally had no butt whatsoever.
I had no butt.
But the problem was these procedures were illegal, right? And 3 women ended up dying, and dozens more were disfigured.
Yeah.
26-year-old Carissa Nicole Rajpal died on October 15, 2019 at a home in Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles. Carissa moved from South Africa to Southern California with a dream of becoming a social media star and making it in the adult entertainment business, per the LA Times. And, let's face it, in the world we live in and have lived in for the past, 5, 10, 15 years,
right?
Social media has played a big part in the aspirations of a lot of people.
Huge. And it's driven image. It's driven by image.
It is. And that's, I think, part of the issue that we're going to be dealing with in this episode.
Yeah.
But you think about kids coming out of high school now saying, I don't want to go to college. I want to be a YouTube star.
Sure.
Or I want to be a podcast star or whatever it is. And then obviously also she was trying to make it in the adult entertainment business. So Carissa reached out to 51-year-old Libby Adame, 23-year-old Alyssa Galaz. This was a mother-daughter team.
Okay.
Advertising cosmetic procedures at discounted rates on Instagram. And I said it, right? On social media, Libby Adame was known as the butt lady or Latia.
Ooh, the Latia.
So, first of all, I get it. Some of these cosmetic procedures can be very, very expensive. You see something that seems like a great discount, you might want to jump on that.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about finding your place to go based on an Instagram post.
It's kind of scary. That's how you're shopping your surgical procedure.
Yeah. I mean, we're not talking about a beauty cream, right?
No.
Or something that some influencer is saying, hey, use this, you'll look younger. That's one thing.
Right.
A lot of people will try that because they follow an influencer and they respect them and they'll try it. We're talking about like a procedure that somebody has to perform. Okay. I don't think that's the way that I would go. The women met with Carissa who was seeking an enhancement of her buttocks.
Oh, the buttocks.
Yeah. And you know how much I love to say the word buttocks.
Say it a lot, actually.
I do say it a lot. And you know what? For people who are just finding us on YouTube, go back, listen to our podcast. We've been doing this for 10 years. We have over 470 episodes. I just wanted to put that out there. But the other thing, Gibbs, is I guess I'll say the female butt.
Yeah.
Is I think a big source of what's the word I want to use?
Attention?
Well, it can be attention for sure. I'm talking more about the female side.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of females, they want that certain look.
Well, I think if they've seen it in the magazines and they see it on TV and all that.
I mean, look at a Kim Kardashian. You look at some of these stars who, you know, kind of have this certain look around the posterior area.
Well, I definitely don't think men really care about their rear end. Like, I don't think
not as much as women.
Yeah, I just don't. No. I think one day, like,
you're the exception. I would never, have anything injected into my rear end, but it's because I don't care.
I just think most guys like think they're good with it, and then one day they wake up and they're like, I don't have an ass
it's
anymore.
It is completely gone.
You know, it's all back and legs now.
And that literally is what happens.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of that, and my wife and I were talking about this the other day. When you look at actresses in Hollywood, and this is a horrible thing to me, guys are allowed to age any way they want to, apparently.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Harrison Ford was just in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
He was in the 1923. Now, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look like he looked when he played in Star Wars.
No, not at all.
The issue I have is women are not treated anywhere near the same. They're not allowed to age gracefully in Hollywood.
Not in that space at all.
Or in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I feel horrible about that. I mean, it's not my call. I'm not a casting director or anything like that, but I do think it's very unfair.
Yeah, but I mean, that's probably the biggest chunk of plastic surgery's business is women.
I would say more women get plastic surgery than men. I mean, I think a lot more men nowadays are probably getting it, but you know, I don't know, maybe more in the face. I keep hitting my mic.
Yeah.
More in the face area.
I mean, I have the buttocks.
You do have the buttocks.
I got the calf implants.
Mm-hmm. The penile enlargement. I thought was
that was a reduction.
that was over the line, but hey, you
the
do
shoulders, the biceps.
You do what you got to do.
You know, think about getting the extended chin for the chisel look.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant down here. I was like, you don't need that, brother.
Yeah, I can't do anything about the hair loss.
Now, I wear a hat. That's why I wear a hat.
That's what you do for it, huh?
So they met with Carissa.
Yeah.
You know, and although they weren't licensed to perform surgery or really any cosmetic procedures, Carissa scheduled 3 procedures with Adame and her daughter in the fall of 2019. During one of the procedures, Carissa took selfies and videos showing herself smiling while she was kind of lying on a cloth-covered table in a private home in Encino. Adame and Galaz were seen in the video injecting a syringe into Carissa's buttocks in the background. Okay. During her third procedure on October 15, 2019, something went terribly wrong. According to LA Times, Carissa was injected with a type of liquid silicone comprising materials commonly found at home improvement stores. Okay. I already, talked about my fear of finding your cosmetic surgeon type person on Instagram.
Right.
I don't think a lot of cosmetic surgeons are walking the aisles of Home Depot, Lowe's, picking up their supplies.
I mean, it's this toxic chemical that you're injecting into your body. Your body is not going to want to accept it.
Because it's not medical grade.
Exactly.
It can't be. Carissa suffered acute cardiopulmonary dysfunction on the makeshift operating table that was set up in the house. Adame and Galaz called 911, but then they fled, leaving paramedics and physicians unaware of the silicone injection. Carissa later died in the emergency room. So, I mean, to me, it's obvious, right? They were doing something or had done something that they 100% knew they shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, they knew it was wrong.
Yeah. Now, to call 911, that's good. But then to flee, basically, what are you saying? I didn't stick around because I knew I was going to get in trouble, and I didn't want that.
Exactly. I mean, but like you said, the police would show up. How are they going to know what happened here?
Right.
Do you leave like the caulking tube, the caulking tube that you used or whatever you used out?
Well, and the other thing is, what would have happened if they had stayed? Would that information have allowed, emergency personnel to possibly save Carissa's life?
Well, I think you have a much better chance if they know.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but it's a possibility.
Your odds improve.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Back in 2017, the FDA released a warning about the illegal use of injectable silicone for body contouring and associated health risks. FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb said that the risk can include irreversible disfigurement and even death. I don't want either one of those.
No. It's not worth it. It's not worth dying over or being, really ill, sick with it. And it's not worth the fact that they inject you and maybe for a minute, it looks like you have a really nice, buttocks that you want it. But as soon as you sit down and move around, it hardens. And next thing you know, you have a deformed
boulder. You got a boulder on one side.
Yeah,
who knows?
Exactly.
But, procedures, any type of procedure is somewhat risky in and of itself.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to somebody's house using a makeshift, operating table and you're getting injected with who knows what, okay, well, you're upping the risks significantly.
It's kind of like that old saying, you get what you pay for.
Well, there's no doubt about it. That's absolutely correct. Injectable silicone is different from the silicone contained within approved breast implants because the breast implant shell keeps the silicone from migrating, within the body.
Yeah.
Injectable silicone is only FDA approved for a specific use inside the eye. I don't know what that is. But I think that's why people kind of freak out if, a breast implant ruptures.
Right.
If it's a silicone breast implant, well, then you've got that silicone seeping or leaking. When seeking to enlarge the size of their buttocks or breasts, some consumers are falsely told they're receiving FDA-approved dermal filler, but they're injected with silicone. So, I mean, what do you do if you're lied to, man?
Well, that's the thing too, right? I mean, if you don't know, if you're told, we get this exactly where the doctors get it from, we're just not charging you what they charge.
Yeah, which is, I'm sure, what they're saying.
Yeah.
According to the FDA, side effects can include ongoing pain and serious injuries, such as scarring, tissue death, permanent disfigurement. If the silicone migrates beyond the injection site, it could cause an embolism, which is a blockage of a blood vessel, stroke, infections, and death. So those are serious things.
And these are things that a non-doctor wouldn't be aware of. I mean, if you're not a doctor performing this, are you going to know all that?
No, possibly. But for certain people, even if they knew,
yeah,
they're making money. And so, maybe they're going to roll the dice, but you're rolling the dice with another person's life.
That's right.
And I think that's where it gets really, really scary. It would take nearly 2 years for the LAPD to identify Libby Adame and Alicia Galaz as the women responsible for Carissa Rajpal's death. Over 50 women had reported botched surgeries in that time period.
Wow.
The mother and daughter were arrested at their home on August 5th, 2021. After the arrest, the LAPD had to increase staff to handle the sudden influx of calls reporting botched cosmetic procedures. Many of the victims who spoke to authorities were permanently disfigured. According to LAPD Chief Alan Hamilton, they all shared pretty similar stories, alleging that the duo performed surgeries from private homes and transferred medical equipment to and from each location.
This was a fairly large problem.
Well, it was a big operation, which resulted in a really big problem.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like their success rate was very good, but that doesn't surprise me. They're not using what they should have been using. Chief Hamilton explained that saving money is what draws many people to get illegal, unlicensed plastic surgery or a cosmetic procedure. The average cost of a butt lift by a board certified surgeon is somewhere probably around $10,000, $15,000.
It's expensive.
But these ladies were charging about $3,000 to $4,000.
So a third of the cost.
Yeah, roughly,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. Libby and Alicia's trial started on February 20th, 2024. The jury heard that the two defendants had seen the silicone injection procedure go horribly wrong before, but they continued advertising and performing the procedure anyway.
Because it was easy money for them.
Yeah, $3,000 to $4,000 a pop.
I mean, if all you're buying is some syringes and
The silicone.
I mean, your profit margins are huge.
Yeah. And it's because they're doing the work,
Yeah.
right? They don't have doctors and nurses and anybody else there. The prosecution accused the two of implied malice murder. The risks of the procedures were so well known that they showed malice in injecting Carissa with the silicone liquid. They continued putting people at risk for money. They performed this procedure for about a decade. And like I said earlier, they built a following on social media.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's scary, right? You get a following. Well, what comes along with that? Is there, at the very least, some sort of implied knowledge or what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're not scam artists.
No, they're showing that they have some type of expertise in this, right? I mean, there's
how could they have these many followers, right? I think a lot of people would look at that.
You got to be successful.
Yeah.
Have all these people are following you, and you're showing all these different.
Doesn't mean it's true, but I think that could hook some people who might be on the fence or might not otherwise do it. According to the LA Daily News, Carissa was told that the injections would prompt the growth of fat cells in her buttocks, making them look fuller.
Okay.
And let's be honest, there are a lot of women who are after that.
Yes.
Just a fuller looking backside.
Yeah, it's all Tony Loke's fault. He started it with Baby's Got Back.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Yeah.
And then, you had the Kim Kardashians and the trend has kind of gone that way. Like that's the in look, I guess, for the lack of a better term. You and I are not really in on anything, but we're aware of things.
Yeah.
and so I'm aware of it. The defense argued that the women could not be held criminally liable because California law does not outlaw butt lift procedures, and Carissa sought out the treatment and she consented to the treatment.
Yeah, but did she know what she was consenting
Well,
to?
right. That's going to be the argument. But I understand where the defense is going, right?
Oh, of course.
She came to them. She gave consent to be injected, to have this procedure done. I think the prosecution is going to say the exact same thing that you said. Well, yeah, but you told her it was going to be X.
Right.
And what you delivered was something completely different.
But let's don't forget that, her Instagram, her social media is marketing this, right? So she's
It's not a secret.
No,
It's not underground.
she's trying to draw them in, hook them in,
Mm-hmm.
saying this is what we do. Come see me and watch what I do for you.
So prosecutors showed the jury autopsy photos of Carissa Rajpal and another woman, Kenya Arias, a woman who died in 2018 after also receiving silicone injections from Adame and Galaz. Both women had puncture wounds in their buttocks where the syringes went in. Examiners also extracted liquid silicone from Carissa's buttocks. The jury heard details about the death of Kenya Arias, who got the procedure done at a salon in Southgate. Adame and Galaz were captured by security cameras in the parking lot behind the salon as paramedics rushed in through the front door to treat Arias, who had lost consciousness after getting an injection. Paramedics unsuccessfully attempted to revive her.
They knew what they were doing was wrong. You could try to make a case for the first time, like, oh, maybe this stuff shouldn't be used.
Yes.
But when you continue and it happens again, right there, it's on you.
Well,
right?
just look at the numbers. Right? 50 botched surgeries, 3 deaths. At some point, right? That argument just completely goes out the window. Absolutely. That, well, we didn't know.
Yeah,
this wasn't right. There's just no way you can say that. Prosecutors said Galaz helped 2 other women administer the procedure on Arias. After Arias died, prosecutors traced her cell phone back to Adame and Galaz's home in Riverside. Later that night, her phone pinged a cell tower one last time before it was turned off. It was unclear why no charges were filed, but Deputy DA Lee Cernock told the jury that the case was under investigation when investigators became aware of Carissa Rajpal's death. Carissa's husband, Marco, testified that he was aware of his wife's first 2 procedures, but she hid the third one from him because she knew he objected to it. And I can tell you right now, if my wife said, I want to have a butt lift, I'd be like, okay, you don't need it, but if you want it, if it's going to make you feel better, that's kind of how I feel about anything she wants to do.
Sure.
Where I would have a problem is the source of the advertisement.
If she's like, hey, Gibby's got this buddy that does butt lifts in his alley garage.
Out of his van, out of his windowless van.
Yeah.
No. And a lot of times, okay, if it's 10 to 15,000 and this one costs 3,000, well, there is that old saying, right? Sometimes things are just too good to be true.
Absolutely.
In March 2024, Adame and Galaz were found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. They were both acquitted of the more serious charge of murder. Adame was convicted of 3 counts of practicing medicine without a certification, and Galaz was found guilty of 2 counts of the same charge. And nobody really wants involuntary manslaughter, but it's a long way from murder.
Yeah,
it's a lot less serious, obviously.
Better outcome for them.
Because on April 18, 2024, they were both sentenced to just 3 years and 8 months for involuntary manslaughter. So you're not going to get 3 years for murder.
No. Kind of a light sentence, honestly.
Oh, yeah. For what they did. They were ordered to be taken into custody. But hours later, the judge agreed with the defense that they were entitled to credit for time spent under electronic monitoring, and they were subsequently released from prison.
Wow.
So you figure they were probably out on bail.
Yeah.
They were required to wear an ankle monitor, which I know you've worn one. We've talked about that for years.
Sure we have.
On the podcast. So they were probably at home, right? Living their life. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, you're convicted, but because you spent this much time at home wearing the ankle monitor, we're going to set you free.
It's just not the same.
No, and I don't like it. Despite her conviction and a warning from the judge, Adame continued performing unlicensed cosmetic procedures.
See, people just don't learn.
And that's the thing, right? She knew what she was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
She got caught. She got convicted. But this is something that you and I talk about on all of our podcasts, right? When the sentence isn't stiff enough, well, what are you telling that person? If you get caught, okay, it's not going to be that severe.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times what that does is it emboldens them to keep doing the things that they were doing.
Well, hey, if I did something severe like that and just had to put the monitor on and had to sit at my home, enjoying my life with all my luxuries.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a lot of luxuries?
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
you act like you're the king of Monaco or something.
Whatever those luxuries are of TV.
I've seen your house. It's not like a mansion or
and
anything.
TV dinners.
Oh, now you're down to TV, dinners.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I
just
got
saying,
you.
whatever you have,
Yeah.
it's still better than what you would get if you were in prison.
Jail, prison, whatever.
You know, you actually got a real mattress to lay on. So you don't have to use the bathroom with a bunch of people around you, right? But so what's going to keep you from doing it again?
Well, that's my point exactly. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
In March 2025, Adame was responsible for the death of actress Cindy-Anna Santangelo. Cindy-Anna was born Cindy Lehrer in 1967. She was raised in L.A. In the late 80s and early 90s, she worked as a dancer and appeared in various music videos. She was in Young MC's Bust a Move.
Oh,
Remember that?
I was in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pre-buttock implant for you.
Yeah.
I actually did listen to Young MC back in the day.
I know you did.
I had a rap phase.
Yes, you did.
Before I turned to country. She also delivered the Spanish introduction to the music video for the song Stop by Jane's Addiction.
Okay.
So, some big artists at the
Sure.
time. Frontman Perry Farrell later described her to Spin magazine as the Latin Marilyn Monroe.
Oh,
So that's pretty heady praise,
I think so too.
I would say. Cindy-Anna also appeared on the shows Married with Children, ER, and CSI Miami.
Okay.
So she had some impressive credits
Sure she did.
to her name. Now, I don't know how big, of roles these were. She married Frank Santangelo in 2001, and they had 2 sons together. Cindy-Anna was later the director and chief executive of Mermaids, Cove, Malibu, an all-women's luxury sober living facility.
Okay.
So,
Impressive.
a place where people would go to, try to get over their addiction, or I don't know if you get over it, but you know what I mean, get clean. And
Yeah. It's needed. It's a good thing that she was trying to do there.
yeah, start down a different path. In a reality show style promotional video on Mermaids Cove, she described herself and discussed why she wanted to help others, saying, "I'm Cindy-Anna. I'm a great mommy, a wife, a daughter, a friend, a CEO, and a recovering addict. I had kind of the party rock star life, but I ended up as sort of, everybody knows, a low bottom junkie." And unfortunately, that does happen to a lot of people.
It does.
She went on to say, "When I had the blessing to get clean and sober this time, I realized that there was a niche in this market of recovery for people like me, that someone like me could touch only a certain ilk of women, that they would believe it and hear it only from me. So you said it's a good thing, and I do agree with that. I also think this could probably be a pretty lucrative business.
Oh, I definitely think it's lucrative.
I don't think it's cheap,
No.
that type of service, but it is very needed, as you said. Cindy Anna Santangelo died on March 24th, 2025 at her home in Malibu. She went into medical distress after Libby Adame administered a silicone injection. Her husband Frank called 911 after Adame said Cindy Anna was having trouble breathing. The LA County Fire Department responded to the home around 7:15 p.m. Video from the home, which was introduced as evidence at trial, showed Frank seeing his wife bleeding from the injection sites on her buttocks and running to get material to clean them. He called 911 as his wife was drooling, lying on her side, and having difficulty breathing.
Tragic.
Yeah, and obviously heartbreaking for her as she's going through this, but also extremely rough for him, right? He's seeing this and he's like, what can I do?
Yeah.
He's in the middle of it. Adame left and took her bag with her. Cindy Anna was taken to a hospital and pronounced dead. So to me, very similar, right? Adame is again still doing these illegal procedures. Something goes wrong, and what is her first inclination?
To flee.
Oh, I'm getting the heck out of Dodge
Yeah.
because I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, and I don't want to get in trouble. Cindy Anna's cause of death was a silicone embolism. According to ABC7, the silicone oil had migrated from the injection site to the bloodstream. The circulatory system moved this oil into her lungs, which prevented the lungs from providing oxygen to her body.
Yeah, I'm assuming it acted like a barrier.
I don't know, but it's not good.
No.
Frank told police that the quote unquote nurse who performed this injection was named Libby. And it probably didn't take police, too long
To figure that out.
to figure it out, because who had been busted before for doing this exact same thing? The trial started in October 2025. Adame's defense argued that she had worked as a consultant for doctors who can legally perform buttocks injections in Mexico, but she was not practicing in California.
Whoa. There's a big difference between medical procedures in Mexico and California, right? We know that. I mean, we know a lot of people, at least back in the day, would go across the border to get certain medical procedures done
Or medicines.
because
they were
so
cheaper.
much cheaper.
Yeah. But I think what they're arguing is she wasn't practicing.
Yeah,
I mean, it might be wordplay,
right.
but I think that's what they're saying. They also argued that she didn't personally administer the injection and was only there as a consultant.
Oh, okay.
The timeline of events didn't provide enough time for the procedure to have been done. So, and this is all according to the defense, right? Someone else must have performed the injections before Adame arrived. So they can't argue that she wasn't there.
Right.
Frank saw her.
Yeah.
He'd already told the police she was there. They got to come up with something else. Additionally, the defense argued that Cindy Anna might have already had the silicone injections, but hid them from her family. However, an examination of her body after death indicated that the injections had been done recently. So something you and I talk about a lot, right? You got a defense attorney. They're trying to do their job. And part of that job is to, raise reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
In trying to do that, it's like they're throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall, hoping something sticks, right? Prosecutors and investigators pointed to inconsistent statements from Adame in messages between her and Cindy, discussing upcoming appointments as evidence that Adame was there to administer the injections. And I get it, right? You know, if it was 1970, would you have that type of electronic trail? No, you wouldn't. But in 2025, you're going to have a lot of different electronic trails.
You sure will.
From, you know, your cell phone tracking you, what cell phone towers is it hitting, you know, what text messages are you sending, emails, things like that.
I'm just thinking how compelling her website and all that had to be for even somebody that lived in Malibu. I'm assuming was successful.
Had the money to go.
Yeah, probably had the money to go, but they probably said, why would I spend this if I can get it done for this?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let's face it. Who doesn't want to save money?
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to save a little money, but
yeah, especially me.
I'm with you. You know, again, does it go back to the following that she had developed and how misleading can that be? You know, if she's got X amount of followers, well, obviously she's not a fraudster, but that doesn't mean that's the case.
It kind of gives you some instant credibility.
It does. And I think it did for her. In closing arguments, Deputy DA Lee Cernak said Adame had been warned by a judge in her 2024 trial that because she was aware of the dangers of silicone injections, she could be convicted of murder if another client died. Yeah. So, you know, we just got done talking about it, right? You were kind of dealt what we thought was a pretty low sentence. At that point, maybe you want to make a change in your life.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. She goes back to what she had been getting away with and essentially got not much more than a slap on the wrist, in my opinion, but she was warned. Yeah. And you would think that warning alone would kind of cause her to be like, oh, yeah, I don't want to take that chance. And to most people, it probably would.
But when the punishment is so light,
yes,
I think she walks away thinking, I'm not worried about it. I'm just not worried about it.
Yeah, she must have because she kept doing it.
Yeah.
On October 9th, 2025, Libby Adame was found guilty of second-degree murder and practicing medicine without a license. On November 5th, she was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. So, you know, far cry from the time served under essentially house arrest or house monitoring that she had gotten before. Adame's attorney filed a motion for a new trial, saying there is no direct evidence of her guilt. She's never admitted to anybody that she, you know, did the injections. Nobody's ever seen her do the injections. But the judge denied the motion before delivering the sentence. Cindiana's son, Dante Santangelo, said in court per ABC7, I didn't expect this to happen in my wildest dreams. I'm all for the law and everyone to get a fair chance, but I don't think someone who has no regard for human life or anything like that should be allowed back on the street because clearly this is something that's happened multiple times.
Right.
And he's not wrong. I think, you know, when you're the victim's family member of a person who was murdered, and you find out that the perpetrator had done this time and time again and had been essentially allowed to walk free, you are not going to be a happy camper,
No.
Gibbs.
No.
I mean, none of us would be because it's just not the way it should be. Frank also alleged that Adame fled their home. As soon as she saw his wife beginning to convulse, he filed a civil suit, wrongful death, right, against Adame.
Yeah.
And he said in his civil suit that his wife was, quote, killed in the prime of her life in her own home after being unlawfully injected with unsafe and unapproved substances by Libby Adame. an unlicensed individual falsely holding herself out is qualified to perform cosmetic procedures.
Yeah.
And I think that spells it out pretty well.
I do too.
He also testified against her at her criminal trial. Now, it seems that this wrongful death suit is still ongoing. This is a fairly recent case, right?
Oh, yeah.
2025. And we really couldn't find any recent updates. But as we wrap this one up, Gibbs, you have this person in Libby Adame, and we can't forget about her daughter. I think she got her daughter into this stuff as well.
She did.
Practicing cosmetic procedures for about 10 years without a license, something she shouldn't have been doing. During that time, she built up a pretty good following on social media, mainly because of her low prices.
Yeah.
Probably. And then her daughter came in, joined the business. And I don't think there's any doubt that even though she knew the dangers of injecting this type of silicone, they continued to perform these injections for years and years, using these same procedures, essentially putting their clients at risk for money.
It's easy money is why they did it. Just like these people that do the lip injections that illegally. It's easy money for them until something like this happens or somebody gets disfigured from those injections. It's a shame.
Yeah. But you assume if you're going to that type of place, they're licensed, right? They're supposed to be licensed.
You're hoping.
And maybe that's upon you during some type of due diligence process to make sure that they are. But
try to do some research.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not blaming the victim here, but I think for some people who are thinking about it, that would be a good piece of advice probably, is to make sure that whoever you're going to is licensed. But so, doing these procedures, putting clients at risk, people died, they're disfigured, dozens of botched surgeries,
right?
And the deaths of 3 clients. And I think when you boil it down, and you've already said it, right? It's just pure greed.
Exactly.
You knew it was wrong. The judge told you it was wrong. Don't do it. If you're convicted again, you're going away for murder. But the allure of that type of easy money. Because you think about it, Gibbs, how long did it take? How long did that procedure take? I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not very long.
But is it $3,000 worth of your time? I think most people would say, ooh, that's a quick $3,000 or $4,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, that's easy money for them.
But, it's hard for a lot of us to kind of get to that point in our minds where we can understand how someone could put another person's life in jeopardy over money.
Well,
but it happens all the time.
It does. 10 years ago, I probably would have been a little less. I've been like, oh, that seems so weird.
Oh, yeah. But
now I'm like,
after 10 years of doing true crime podcasts,
I'm not surprised that much anymore.
No, I'm not either. I'm not. But that's it for our episode on Libby Adame and our second TCAT of the week. I don't even know how to say that. That's the best way I can think of to say it.
That's awesome, man. You broke the desk in.
Yeah.
You broke everything in, You broke it in.
And you didn't break anything. So that's,
I didn't break
so far
anything.
we're doing great.
We're doing really well. Yeah.
All right. We love y'all. We appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, do that.
It doesn't cost anything. It helps us out. And like I said earlier, if you're just finding us based on this video, our first of many, we have hundreds and hundreds of podcast episodes.
Well, between the 2 podcasts.
We have almost 900.
Yeah.
Or we do have over 900.
Right.
between True Crime All the Time and True Crime All the Time Unsolved. So yeah, go check those out. They're great for commute. You can find them on any of your favorite podcast players.
Like you say, like and subscribe.
Yep, like and subscribe. And we'll be back next week.
You will.
All right, we're out.
See ya.